Hey, I'm so glad that you're back, and this is part two of why entrepreneurs are so depressed and what they can do to overcome it. Mark Twain, who is a famous writer, once said that comparison is the thief of all joy. And the thing about comparison is that it's very rampant in the entrepreneur space. And the reason why is because a lot of the awards and accolades that we see is very external. And we know that this is a plot or something that people use to market their future services, right? Also, we can say that it is used to help inspire and encourage other people as well. But for you, if you're taking this as a slight towards the work that you've done, or if you feel that you're not enough because you're seeing other people having $1,000,000 days, $1,000,000 months, or just simply making $1,000,000, I can relate to you. And I'll say that comparison is actually okay and it's natural. But the thing is how close or how deeply or how tightly you're holding on to that comparison. Because here's the thing, comparison can have positives to it. So for example, if you see someone in your exact same niche having a lot more success than you, I would tell you to compare yourself in an objective way, looking at what it is that they're doing that is different from what you're doing. Take those skills and then apply it to your business in your specific way. And if you're familiar with Russell Brunson, this is literally what he means by becoming a funnel hacker. You have to compare what they're doing to what you're doing and seeing where are you missing? What is it that they're doing that you're not? And that can help you to improve your business. Now, going back to how this hurts entrepreneurs is when they take it personal. When you scroll through Instagram, TikTok, the highlight reels that we all see, if you're not careful, you could think that you're actually losing when in actuality, you're winning. The thing is, you have to become very, very clear on what you want your life to be. And this is why I say clarity is very, very key, especially when it comes to building confidence, but also when it comes to your happiness as well. Because there's a saying, stop and smell the roses. But what I tend to tell my clients is if I were to give you a rose, would you even know it? Would you even know what a rose smelled like if I gave it to you? Chances are the answer may be between a no and a somewhat. I'll give you a little credit and say somewhat. But for a lot of people, that answer may be no. So I want you to have great clarity in what it is that you want your life to look like. And be okay with saying that, hey, that is not my life as well. So, example. If you just started off in the entrepreneurship game, where I was a few years ago, I'm not going to be able to have, I'm not going to say I'm not going to be able to, but there's a strong chance that I won't have $1,000,000 day or $1,000,000 month within my first year of entrepreneurship. Especially if I'm very new to it, coming straight out of the employment world, like whatever it is, the chances are I may not be there. It could take someone a couple years, maybe even a decade, to develop the skill set and the mindset to be able to develop and have $1,000,000 month, let alone $1,000,000 day. And I don't want you to compare yourself to someone who's been on this journey for 10 years plus. And I think that was the issue that I may have been having when I first started, and maybe it is for you as well. So I want you to give yourself a little grace and become crystal clear on what you want your life to look like. The second thing that I want you to do when it comes to comparison is I want you to start to have appreciation for the things that you do have in your life. So not only should you be able to see what you want, but develop an appreciation, have gratitude for what you have, and then make it seem as though you are richer than you believe yourself to have been, or more successful than you believe yourself to be. These are two great skills to have. It's going to help you as an entrepreneur to get through the tough times as you're growing and developing the skill set to be the people that you look up to. So again, clarity and appreciation. Those are the two steps that you need to help you to overcome comparison, which is again the thief of all joy. So one thing that I see a lot in therapy is clients' ability to live in the future or the past. You guys call this overthinking, but for us we call this ruminating. Ruminating is when we think that we're doing problem solving activities when in actuality we're just stuck living in the past or living in the future. Now this makes us feel like we're doing some type of work when in actuality we're stalling, we're wasting time, we're causing on more depression, more stress, more anxiety, because we're living in a state of confusion, a state of sadness, a state of uncertainty, if you will. So one of the things that helps with ruminating as an entrepreneur is not only your ability to be clear, which I talked about previously, but also your ability to be mindful, grounded, to be in the moment versus being in the future or the past. So I'm gonna give you guys two easy skills to help you to be focused in the future, focused in the present so that you're not focused in the future. So the first one is called the 5 senses. And this one I love because it's real simple. You can do it anywhere. So I ask my clients to practice on noticing 5 things that are in front of them in this moment. So they may say, well, for me, it'll be the refrigerator, the box, the dresser, the basketball, the door, and the lights. Like those are my 5 things. Then I'll ask them, what are 4 things that you can physically feel? And then what are 3 things that you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and then 1 thing that you can taste. These things help you to become present in the moment, because now you have to truly focus on what's around you. So that's one, and that's one that I hope that you implement on a daily basis, honestly, for the next 2 weeks. That will help build that skill. The second one that I love is our ability to focus on our breath. So this one is real simple as well. You can do it in your car, in the office, in a meeting, anywhere. And what you just simply do is just notice the breathing, the feeling of the air, filling up your lungs as you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. And you can do this for over the course of 5 minutes. And if your mind starts to wander and starts to think about other things, then what I want you to do then is to bring your mind back to your breath. And this is something that you can do also with the first activity of the 5 senses, because naturally your mind's going to want to wander, and that part is okay. I don't want you to think that you're doing something wrong. What I want you to do is just practice bringing the mind back. So metaphorically, what you're doing is you're lifting this muscle, right? Every time your mind drifts and it comes back, or you bring it back, you're lifting that muscle over and over and over again, and it helps it to become stronger. So when you find yourself ruminating over, let's say, something that you did wrong as an entrepreneur, or let's say there was a missed opportunity, whatever it is, becoming focused on it, stuck on it, is not going to help you out. There are some benefits to seeing what you did wrong, but you have to learn how to let it go so that you can get back to being focused on what you need to do to become a better entrepreneur, to reach your goals, whatever the case it may be. So in other words, you got to learn how to let go and be focused on the here and now. Let go of ruminating and overthinking and be present, because that's where you can do the most damage as an entrepreneur. All right, so last but not least, the last of the 7 is that entrepreneurs are living a lie, okay? They're living a lie, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. A lot of times people will prefer to be right about the wrong things rather than being wrong about the right things. And this is what we see when it comes to people pleasing. And this may be more so towards society rather than it being like our peers, or let's say our parents, if you will. So I'll give you an example. Society would say that entrepreneurs are the greatest people on earth. Everyone should be one. They make the most money and things like that. Well, if you don't have desires of being an entrepreneur, right? So let's say you want to be a doctor. Even though doctors can be entrepreneurs, but let's say you really just want to be a doctor. Be a doctor. You know, you don't have to become an entrepreneur because it's the flashiest or coolest thing that's out there. Like, do what makes you happy. Also, the second thing, the people that you serve, I want you to serve the audience that, again, makes you happy, and not the audience that maybe people in your niche are working with. So if you love working with kids, but your niche is more focused, or the people in your niche is more focused on adults, professionals, and things like that, forget them. Do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you feel right. So in other words, don't live a lie. All right, I see this a lot, and I think it's hard for people to go against the grain because of the scrutiny that they may get. But if you're willing to accept that scrutiny, you will get something a lot better in the end, and that's the fulfillment that you're seeking. So I want you to find out, what things are you doing that is not aligned with your values? And I want you to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Is it to people please? Is it to seem cool? Is it to fit in? Because if so, you're doing yourself a big disservice. I want you to honor yourself, have trust and confidence in yourself, and do what feels naturally for you. So if that means rubbing some people the wrong way, disappointing some people, or being different from everybody else, I think you should go for it, because it will make you valuable in the end. Not only for yourself, but for the people that you're serving. So, guys, those are the 7. I hope you enjoyed them. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video. I promise to bring you guys more tips like this. And again, thank you. I appreciate it. And we're out.